Hi my lovelies, so today I'm going to be sharing with you all the books that I got in July. I think this is potentially a part 2 because I'm pretty sure I already filmed a book haul and then I acquired more books. This is hopefully going to be the end of the book buying for a while. I'm sort of low-key putting myself on a book buying ban for the rest of, I don't know, the rest of the year maybe. We shall see. I've never done a book buying ban before and I have very weak will and determination, so it'll probably break shortly. But I want to see how long I can go for without purchasing any books, because I just keep looking at my books and I get into these like existential crises where I'm like, I'm never gonna finish them all. So I'm gonna try and finish a load before I buy more. Whether that's the end of the year, a month, a couple of weeks, we shall see, we shall see. But I'm hoping it is till the end of the year. I do have a pre-order that I'm expecting in August. Other than that, I'm intending to not really buy anything. So in terms of actual book hauls, I want to quickly go through all the books that I have through like ebooks, so it's like NetGalley or Audible or Tor's Book of the Month, that sort of thing. So here they are. Alright, so starting with the physical books, I might as well show you this one quickly. This is one that I've borrowed out from the library physically, and this is The Spook's Sacrifice by Joseph Delaney. These books get kind of confusing because as I was trying to figure out which was the next one to get, they've had like a load of name changes. I think I knew them as either the Spooks books or the Waterstone Chronicles, but some of them have had cover changes and name changes and it gets a little bit confusing. But this is the 6th book in the Waterstone Chronicles, the Spooks books, and it's about Tom Ward, who is the 7th son of a 7th son, and they have to train to become a spook, who is basically the caregiver of the county. They look after the village people by getting rid of all of the nightmarish creatures and like witches and things like that, and banishes them to keep the town safe. So I haven't picked up these books for a good few years. I read the first 4 relatively back to back, I think, and I first got into the series because I won 2 of the later books through Goodreads, and I was like, oh, I need to try it out, but I got book like 8 and 11 or something like that, so it's a long series. But then I just stopped getting them for whatever reason, and I decided to borrow the rest out of the library. So I've recently, as you would have seen from Audible, picked up an audio copy of it, and I've just finished it, and now I have the physical book for book 6 to get through next. Alright, next up we have, I want to go in some sort of order. I've made myself a little confused because I've talked about some of these on TikTok and I'm like, I swear I've already spoken about this, but no, I've not done a full video. The first 2 books are ones that I actually got through or when I went to a vintage kind of village. They had a couple of witch related shops and I was really excited to see some of those pop up. So the first one I got is this massive spell book. This is the Element Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells by Judika Isles, and oh my god, it's massive, it's heavy, it's kind of floppy. I think it'll be nice to get through because it's like, it folds nicely on itself. But there's loads of different spells in here. I think it's broken down into like, not genres, but like groups of what makes sense to go together. It's got information on how to cast spells, and then it has the breakdown of all the different spells. So these are like legal spells and spells for justice. Then they've got like spells for the home, love spells, all those sort of things, and I'm going out of focus. But yes, this is definitely one of those books that I'll probably never read cover to cover, but just to flick through and have out and like through my witchy section, I think will be really fun to have this and just look through. So that is the first book. And then another book that I got from one of those shops is more one that you would write yourself. I forgot I've got like loads of business cards tucked in there. But this one is Book of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish, and it is basically a book of shadows or a grimoire. So there's loads of space for you to write your own things, but underneath it's got some like prompts and ideas of what you can include. It's also got some beautiful like paintings, illustrations, photography dotted throughout, and it just feels like a really nice customizable Book of Shadows. Like, I feel like it would be a really nice beginner one because it's got those prompts and pictures throughout. So yeah, I'm really happy to have purchased that. Okay, next up I have 3 graphic novels. The first of those is Julia and the Shark by Kira Millward Hargrave, illustrated by Tom DeFreston. And I remember everyone like raving about this when it first came out, and I did have my eye on it, but I just didn't pick it up when it all came out. I don't know if this is considered a graphic novel. It is written like in, is it prose, but there's a lot of illustrations. Maybe it's just an illustrated book. I do apologise. So it says here, my name is Julia. This is the story of the summer I spent on an island living in a lighthouse. The summer I also lost my mum and found a shark older than trees. Don't worry though, that doesn't spoil the ending. Wow, Elsa. I've got quite the collection of Kira Millward Hargrave's books now. I've just yet to read them. Maybe I could do a vlog centered around that. I've got 1 or 2 of her like older books for adults, 2, actually 3 I guess, for the middle grade, the young children. So yeah, maybe I could do something about that. But this is the next book I've added to the collection. Then for graphic novels, I have the first 2 volumes of Amulet by Kazuo Kibushi. I actually had been holding out for the 8-book box set that was on Books to Doors, I think. And then I kind of forgot that I signed up to be like notified when it came back in stock, and it had been out of stock for ages. So just on a whim, when I was in Waterstones one day, I picked up the first 2 volumes. Why then tell me a couple of days later did I then get a notification to say that the 8-box box set whatever had come back in stock on the Books to Door site? I was so annoyed at myself. But hey ho, I've got the first 2 volumes. I've been wanting to read this for ages, absolute ages. And it's a middle grade graphic novel series, and I think it stops at 8 books. I might be wrong. But it says here, this is the first volume, yeah. There's something strange behind the basement door. After a family tragedy, Emily, Narvin and their mother moved to an ancestral home to start a new life. On the family's very first night in the mysterious house, Em and Narvin's mum is kidnapped by a tentacled creature. Now it's up to Em and Narvin to figure out how to set things right and save their mother's life. Ooh, and illustrations in here look so cool. Like, I love the tones. Amazing. I hope I love this. This is another series that I've heard really great things about and I've been wanting to get to for a long time. Right, over here now we've got another stack of books that I've purchased from Waterstones, I think, at some point throughout the month. And the first one here is I, Rapunzel, or Don't Touch My Hair by Ella McLeod, and I was so excited when I saw the release of this one. The cover is absolutely stunning. Look how beautiful that is. And it says, be afraid, your majesty, of this black girl magic. A girl spends her time at a hair salon, a space of safety, possibility and dreams of hair so rich that it grows into something alive and magical. Rapunzella is... Did I say Rapunzel? It's Rapunzella. Rapunzella is imprisoned in an enchanted forest made of her own afro, and the might of the evil king seems unstoppable. But is it? 2 girls, 2 worlds, will they find their power to change their futures? It's a one-of-a-kind debut with poetry, prose and fairy tale weave an electrifying coming-of-age story. It sounds amazing. I'm really looking forward to that. Look how amazing this cover art is. The afro comb is the earring. Oh my god, the beautiful afro adorned with flowers. I just love it. It's making me super happy. Okay, I also picked up a copy of, I think these next 2 were actually from Books to Doors as well. It might have been World of Books, I can't remember. But I picked up the final book in the Brooklyn Bruja trilogy by Zoraida Cordova, and that is Wayward Witch by Zoraida Cordova. This is the 3rd and final book. This is the 3rd and final installment in this series about sister Brujas, sort of battling with their magic and life and kind of struggling to figure out what's right for the whole or what's just selfish desire, you know. So I recently caught back up with the series by reading Bruja Born a couple of months ago, and yeah, I just want to wrap this up now because especially I'm really wanting to read Incendiary by this author. I think it's her newer work, as a buddy read, and I wanted to clear off what I was already in the middle of reading first from her. So yeah, this is a nice kind of, not matte, it feels like one of those rubber covers that I quite like, and I love the colour of this one. Then I have a copy of Mona Award's Bunny. This sounds really strange, and it's something that I'm not too sure even now if I'm gonna love or if it's just gonna be too weird and convoluted for me, but I've heard a lot of mixed things for this one, but the people that have enjoyed it have really loved it. So I don't know, I'm intrigued. So it says we call them the bunnies because that is what they call each other. Seriously, bunny. Samantha Heather Mackey is an outsider in her small, highly selected MFA program at Warren University. Warren. Bunny. Rabbit Warren. I like that. In fact, she is utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohort, a clique of unbearably twee rich girls who call each other Bunny. But then the bunnies issue her with an invitation, and Samantha finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, across the threshold and down their rabbit hole. Blending sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Bunny is a spellbinding trip of a novel from one of fiction's most original new voices. This sounds super cool. Someone has said, Lena Dunham has said, one of the most pristine and delightful attacks on popular girls since Clueless. It made me nod and cackle in terrified recognition. And then the Sunday Independent says, a brilliant, utterly unique peek into the dark side of female friendship. Part thriller, part horror, part teen drama. It's like Mean Girls with added menace and impossible not to relish. Oh, exciting! Okay, I also recently picked up a copy of You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow. Now, I don't know what drew me to this book, but I don't know, I'm feeling to step out of my comfort zone every now and then, and this seems to be one of those times. And I was just drawn to the cover. They also have written Girl in Pieces and How to Make Friends with the Dark, so if I enjoy this one I might go back and get them. They all kind of feel like they tie in. I thought they were all connected at first, but I think they're all standalones. So it says, the quiet one, the obedient one, the reliable one. Emmy has spent her life being told exactly who she is. Not strong-willed like her beautiful sister Maddie, and not in rehab like her wild brother Joey. But when a tragic accident changes life in her small town forever, can Emmy keep up the act? Oh, it seems like there's much more depth to Emmy than everyone is expecting. Alright, so I kind of caved and I purchased myself The Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. It says, one throne, two princesses. I have seen so many people hauling this, talking about this since its release. I've seen TikToks by the authors, and I'm just like, okay, I've caved. I just want to see what all the fuss is about. So we are following two sisters and one crown. Princess Rose Valha is heir to the throne of Iana. Trained from birth to fear the witches that killed her parents, she will do anything to defend her kingdom. Stolen from the palace at birth, Ren Greenrock is the secret sister no one knows about. She plots to usurp the princess in order to protect the witches of Arthur who raised her. In the battle for the crown of Iana, where will your allegiances lie? That sounds really cool. Oh my god. And Stephanie Garber, I've just read one of her books. She says, an absolute delight from start to finish. Twin Crowns is a dazzling gem of a book. Magical, clever, surprising, and pure fun. Ooh! Alright, on to the next stack of books. I have won a proof copy of Mina and the Slayers by Amy McCall. This is the sequel to Mina and the Undead, which I read, was it the beginning of this year or last year? I can't remember, but I really, really enjoyed it. And in my proof collection, I have got some goodies. So I've got a bookmark which says Mina in purple. It's like the new theme. The original book is all red, and that's kind of the vibe. And then in here, little envelope addressed to myself, we have all these like really cool advertisements from the book. So like basically in the first book, in the main character called Mina, who goes to visit her sister Libby, I believe, in New Orleans, where she's living at the moment. And they're kind of estranged. They have a bit of a stretched kind of tight relationship, and she accepts the invite and she ends up getting a job where her sister works for the summer at this haunted mansion kind of event place, and they host all these amazing things, all these really cool creepy house tours, but like sinister supernatural things that are actually real, and there's this whole plot, there's like murder mysteries going on, and the two sisters are like thrown in the middle of it all. So I'm assuming there's going to be some more like really exciting events and like balls and stuff. So we have a couple of business cards which says stuff like movies and stuff, which is one of the shops there. Empire of the Dead bar, what's this, Fanged Friends, vampire and gothic clothing, gifts and stationery. This is so cool, it just makes the whole world feel real. And then we've got Devil's Pool Hall. Oh my god, I'm so excited to dive back into this world. And then there's an advertisement that says it's for the tours, Mansion of the Macabre, and it says, think you can survive a horror movie. Oh my god. And then we have the annual Halloween ball, October 29th, drinks reception at 7 PM, dress code, costume formal, and this is the ticket. And lastly, there is an advertisement for a Halloween carnival, and this one says it's for Wandering Witches Halloween Carnival, food, attractions, games, free rides with $8 entry. Oh my god, it just feels so real, like I'm so excited. And then it was also signed, which is awesome, to Jen, keep your steak handy, Amy McCaw. So yes, I'm so grateful to have won one of her proofs. I'm looking forward to diving back into this world. Alright, next up, I picked up a copy of How to Love a Jamaican by Alexia Arthurs, and I've been wanting to get this for ages. It's been on like various wish lists for a long time, and I believe it is a short story collection. I think, I've always thought it was. The cover really is so intriguing. It's just very jarring to the senses, but it pulls you in. It's quite alluring. So it says on the back, tenderness and cruelty, loyalty and betrayal, ambition and regret. These are the tensions at the heart of Alexa Arthur's debut book about Jamaican immigrants and their families back home. Some stories ask big questions about the things that define a person. Others explode small moments of deep significance and lasting effect. Sweeping from close-knit island communities to the streets of New York City, How to Love a Jamaican offers a portrait of a nation, a people, and a way of life. Oh my god, amazing. I'm really looking forward to this. So there is that. Finally got my hands on this copy. And I've also picked up The Bread the Devil Need by Lisa Allen Agostini, and I believe Book of Sins loves this one, and that's why it's kind of been in my head. She's been raving about it. It was one of her book club picks as well. But yeah, another really awesome looking cover. Quite jarring but beautiful to look at the same time, very unique. So we are following Alethea Lopez, who's about to turn 40. She's fashionable, feisty and fiercely independent. She manages a boutique in Port of Spain, but behind closed doors she's covering up bruises from her abusive partner and seeking solace in an affair with her boss. When she witnesses a woman murdered by a jealous lover, the reality of her own future comes a little too close to home. Damn. Bringing us her truth in an arresting, unsparing Trinidadian voice, Alethea unravels memories pressed since childhood and begins to understand the person she has become. Her next step is to decide the woman she wants to be. This sounds like it's going to be really inspiring, but quite a heavy, dark read. Next one, we have a bit of translated fiction, and this is Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung, translated by Anton Her. Honestly, I've got to say it, the cover is what drew me in. As you can see, I like pretty books. I love beautiful artwork. I love to enjoy them on my shelves. I love to appreciate the time the artist has taken on a cover and to make it so eye-catching and sellable in that way. So I do like to make sure I choose some really nice covers. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of that. And on the back we've got another striking, some more pills on the back, and a ring. Interesting. And I think this is a collection of short stories as well. It's got these little flaps, so we shall see what it says on the inside. So it says that Cursed Bunny is a genre-defying collection of short stories by Korean author Bora Chung. Blurring the lines between magical realism, horror and science fiction, Chung uses elements of the fantastic and surreal to address the very real horrors and cruelties of patriarchy and capitalism in a modern society. Fantastic. Oh my god. Ooh, and it was shortlisted for the 2022 International Booker Prize. Fabulous. I think I've got another couple of books that was on the International Booker Prize, not necessarily 2022, but that might be another reading vlog where I can group those together and kind of see, maybe have a look at which one I thought should have won out of the selection that I've read. That might be an interesting one. Okay, we're down to the last 5 books, I want to say. So the next one, oh my god, I'm really loving these mythology retellings and things of that nature. So whenever I see a cover that looks like it might lure me in for that sort of vibe, I pick it up. And then if the synopsis sounds like a match, there we go. This one was also a name buyer because they spell the name Jen exactly how I spell my name, without a J, with a G, just like that, except for mine's got like a little accent over the E. But look, it's my name. Yay! I wonder what it's short for, if it's short for anything. But this is The Thief by Megan Wallen Turner, and it says, I can steal anything. When Jen's boasting lands him in the king's prison, his chances of escape look slim. So when the king's magus invites him on a seemingly impossible quest to steal a legendary object and win back his freedom, Jen is in no position to refuse. The magus has plans for his king and his country, but Jen has plans of his own. Garth Nix has blurbed it and says endlessly entertaining. Lainey Taylor says peerless. Oh my god. And Lee Bardugo says vivid, immersive, heartbreaking. Oh, very exciting. This does look very Grecian to me, so that's what kind of, you know, sparked my interest to begin with. This one, I feel like I've heard a bit of hubbub about this, but I can't remember if it's necessarily been good or bad. And that is A Certain Hunger by Chelsea C. Summers. And when I read the back and also looking at the cover, it kind of gave me oh, what is that show called? And I can't even remember the woman's name. Oh, she's like a zombie, but she's a realtor as well, and she's just getting on with everyday life whilst casually killing people and eating them. Oh, it's on Netflix. It got cancelled after like 3 seasons, and I really enjoyed it. I can't remember it. Anyway, it says, from her idyllic farm to table childhood to the heights of her career as a food critic, Dorothy Daniels has never been shy about indulging her exquisite tastes, even when it led to her plunging an ice pick into her lover's neck. There is something inside Dorothy that she's finally ready to confess, but beware, her story just might make you wonder how your lover would taste sautéed with shallots and mushrooms and deglazed with a little red wine. Interesting. I'm getting zombie vibes, basically, is what I'm saying. Maybe vampire. Speaking of vampire, I picked up a hardcover copy. Why did I say it like that? A physical copy is what I meant to say, of The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I think this is getting a movie or a TV show as well. I might be completely mistaken. I have a NetGalley e-arc of this that I never got to, so I'm hoping having a physical copy will get me to it. And I kind of low-key want to collect all of Grady Hendrix's books. They just are very interestingly different. So this one says, Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic, her teenage kids have their own lives, her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by their love of true crime. Then James Harris walks into her life during the summer of 1993. He makes her feel things she hasn't felt in years, but when children on the other side of town go missing, Patricia wonders if he's connected. Is he a Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something much worse? Right, last 2 books now. These 2 I picked up through a Vinted seller. The first one of those is also from the Booker Prize. This is the long listed from the 2021, and that is Love and Other Thought Experiments by Sophie Ward. So we're following Rachel and Eliza, who are planning their future together. One night in bed, Rachel wakes up terrified and tells Eliza that an ant has crawled into her eye and it is stuck there. Rachel is certain. Eliza, a scientist, is skeptical. Suddenly their entire relationship is called into question. What follows is a uniquely imaginative sequence of interlinked stories ranging across time, place and perspective to form a sparkling philosophical tale of love, lost and found across the universe. This sounds so weird, but potentially in a good way. It's just the whole idea of an ant in your eyeball and then the story develops from that. Like, how random is that? I'm interested to see how this does things. Okay, and the last book I've got is Woven in Moonlight by Isabella Banners, and this is another stunning cover. Beautiful. Super excited when this came out. Oh my god, I didn't even... What? Is this a special edition? Look! It's got cover art. What a reversible cover. That's stunning. That is really beautiful. And then on the book itself, it's got like a crescent moon and some stars. Is this a special edition? What? It's signed. This. Oh my god. Amazing. I only got this for like a couple of quid. What? It's by Page Street Publishing. Oh. Oh my god, there's a map. Oh yes. Oh, I love a map. I love a good map. Oof. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, I got a little bit diverted there. Let's get back on track, shall we? Okay. A lush tapestry of magic, romance and revolution. Ooh. Drawing inspiration from Bolivian politics and history. Hemena. I think it's Hemena. The only reason I'd say that as Hemena, sorry, is because I'm watching Arthur TV's commentary on 90 Day Fiancé, and I think one of the couples is called Jimena, and I'm pretty sure it's spelt with the X, like spelt that way. So that's how I'm going to be saying it for now. Jimena is the decoy condessa, a stand-in for the last remaining Illustrian royal. Her people lost everything when the usurper Atok used an ancient relic to summon ghosts. Did I say usurper right this time? Have I been saying... You know when a word loses meaning because you keep saying it and then you're saying it in different ways and like, what is the actual word? Yeah, I feel like I've said it right this time, but I don't know if I said it any differently to how I said it before. He used an ancient relic to summon ghosts and drive the Illustrians from La Ciudad. Now Jimena is motivated by her insatiable thirst for revenge and her rare ability to spin thread from moonlight. That's what I was really excited about. When Atok demands the real Condessa's hand in marriage, it's Jimena's duty to go in her stead. She relishes the chance, as Illustrian spies have reported that Atok's no longer carrying his deadly relic. If Jimena can find it, she can return the true aristocrata to their rightful place. Hello. She hunts for the relic, using her weaving ability to hide messages and tapestries for the resistance. But when a masked vigilante, a warm-hearted princessa and a thoughtful healer challenge Jimena, her mission becomes more complicated. There could be a way to overthrow the usurper without starting another war, but only if Jimena turns her back on revenge and her Condessa. Oh! So those are all the books that I recently purchased for July. Let me know if you yourself have picked up any of these books. If you've already read them, I'd love to know any thoughts and feelings. Maybe which one I should get to first out of the lot. But for now, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video, and I shall speak to you in another video soon. Bye!